there guys, Trogdor here again, and welcome to another Redstone tutorial. Today I have for you a very compact analog lock. And you may be asking yourself, what does analog mean? That means basically, instead of each of these buttons being hooked up to a separate line, we hooked them all up to the same line, and each button is represented by a different signal strength. So this isn't exactly the signal strength, but for instance, this would be like signal strength 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Again, that's not what it is. It's more like this is signal strength 15, 14, 13, and then it skips some. I'm not sure. But what that means is it actually makes for a really small input panel, and yeah, and I have basically just put a stack of decoders right here for the signal strength, and this is the NOR latch array, and here's the reset line right here. Note is that I did watch a video before building this, a video by Cube Hamster that actually is the same type of lock. I did not copy his stuff because he didn't make a tutorial, but coincidentally my decoder actually turned out almost exactly like his. The only difference is I had one less tick on this repeater and I used one less comparator. That was completely by coincidence, and if you've seen my test world you would know that, but I don't know if I'm going to release that or not. But let's see this thing in action. So the code for this is 9, 9, 3, 1, and then 2. And as you can see, our light turns on right there, which is good. Any button, including the 2, will actually reset it. And that's basically it. Yeah, that's all it does. It's very compact though, and that's the thing. It is 8 by 8 by 8, which is actually smaller than Cube Hamster's 1 by 2 blocks. So anyways guys, let's get on with the tutorial. Okay guys, let's get on with this tutorial. So we're going to actually build this from the back to the front. So we're not going to start off with the input panel. We're actually going to start, I guess technically it's in the middle of the circuit, but it's in the back. I don't know. It's the decoder stack we're going to do. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. So we're going to basically just build above the ground. I'm just building it above the ground because it's easier. You'll have to actually sink this down like a couple blocks in order for it to be flush with the floor. But to get the decoder started, or one of the decoders started, we're going to make a 4x4 platform like this. And put a half slab there. And then on this corner where the half slab isn't, we're going to place a block there. We're going to place a block in this corner, and then we're going to place a block in this corner. So in each of the corners where that half slab isn't. Next we're going to place a couple of droppers. So we're going to place a dropper right here. Doesn't matter which way it's facing because it's not going to be used like a dropper should be used. It's not going to dispense items or anything. And then we're going to place a dropper kitty corner to it, so that's right here. Next we're going to place in some comparators. So we're going to place a comparator here and here. Both of these ones have to be on subtract mode, so make sure the torch on the front of the comparator is on. The rest of these don't have to be on subtract mode. In fact, they shouldn't be on subtract mode. So you're going to place one going that way off of this dropper, and then you're going to place one going this way off of this dropper. Then we're going to place one coming off of this block going that way. Then we're going to place one going that way into that block, and then we're going to place one right here coming out of this block. Next we're going to place some redstone dust, which will be right here, here, and here. And remember guys, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video and copy what I'm doing. I have to kind of keep up this pace because this is going to be a long video as it is. So that's all for the dust. And then we're going to place a repeater right there going into this block. Make sure you put it on 3 ticks. So 3 ticks delay. Go place a torch on the side of that. And then you're going to place a torch right there, and it should power this line. We will be putting items into these later, and that's how you program what your lock is going to be, or what it's going to look for. But I'll get to that later. So let's see how we build the next one. Basically the next one, I just go up a block and I make a platform, a 4x4 platform. I use half slabs just because it's easier to get to these, but none of these have to be half slabs except for the one that's right above this torch, because you don't want that torch to mess with this torch. So I'll go through this one more time. So block, block, block where the slab isn't. Then we're going to place a dropper here, a dropper here. Go to place comparator here and here, both of these on subtract mode. Now we're going to place another comparator here, 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 and here. Again guys, pause the video if you need to. You can copy this fairly easy. Then redstone dust there, there, and there. And then a repeater right there on 3 ticks. Then you're going to take a torch and place it there and there. And that's your decoder. So I'm going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to cut here so we can save on time. But basically you just stack it up the same way that I was doing. So your next one would go right here. And then so on. So I'll be right back guys once I get that done. Okay guys, I am done with that. I forgot to tell you we're only making 4 of these because it's a 4 combo lock. But this is what it should look like stacked together. So the next thing we're going to do is our Latch Array, and that's the thing that makes the whole thing really work. Well, I guess all of this makes it work, because without any part of this it would not work. Anyways, we're going to first start off by putting a block there and taking a repeater signal out of this torch. The repeater needs to be on 3 ticks delay. Go place a block in front of it. The block right there with a repeater coming out of this block right here on 3 ticks delay. Then we're going to place a block in front of that. Now we're going to place in our first NOR latch, which will be right here. And I'm going to just place some unnecessary blocks throughout this build. So you can delete the ones that don't look necessary to you, but if you build it exactly the same way I'm doing it, it will work. Anyways, the main part of this is we got a little 2x3 platform with a block here. Oh, hang on. With a block here and a block here. Gonna take a torch and come out of this block. I'm going to take a repeater, put it into that block. Then we're going to place another torch right here. And we're going to place a dust right here. And that's our first NOR latch. So when we program this and the right signal comes in, it will trip this NOR latch, and then we'll be able to go on to the next one. The way you do the next one is you take a signal from this torch right here and you go up, and then you have to take another signal from this and go up like that. Then you put a block on top of that. Now you just make another platform. And I should note, this isn't necessary, but I'm going to put a dust here just for the reason that you're going to want to place a half slab right here on all the ones above this, because there is going to need to be dust there. So we can just place blocks like this. Yep, you got a platform like this, and we're actually going to have to come out one more. So there we go. So coming from this torch, actually before I go, I had to check something quick on my original build. Let's reset that. But coming out of this torch, we're going to place a repeater on 3 ticks. And that's going to go into a block, which will go into a torch, which will go into a dust right here, which will go into a block. You're going to want to put a dust there. That dust right there is getting powered by this torch, which is directly connected to the bottom NOR latch. So when that gets flipped, this will turn off, which will turn this side off. And that's our AND gate. So we're going to want to take a signal out of this block, and then we want this to trip our next NOR latch, which will be right here. So block there, block there, same NOR latch as the one on the bottom. Place a torch there with a repeater right there, with another torch there, and then a dust there. And this is the reason why I just put that dust on top of there, because you're going to have to place a dust on top of here, because that redirects the dust, and then it won't work otherwise. So make sure you put the dust there. And that's the next NOR latch. And I'll do the next one, and then I'll do the last one off screen. So again, this torch right here, we need to take the signal upwards, so you place a block on top of that torch, place a torch on that block on the side of it, place a block on top of that torch, and then you place a block right there with dust, so that's part of your AND gate. And then you can go ahead and place a platform here just so it's easier for you to work. Nothing will go above this. That has to be a half slab right here. The rest of these can be whatever kind of block, and some of them don't even have to be here, like I said. So after I have that platform coming from this torch, place a 3-tick repeater right there with a full block in front of it. Then a redstone torch right there with dust right there. We're going to place a full block right there. Whoa, that was weird. And this will be our AND gate. So place a torch right there. We want that to trigger our next NOR latch. So block here and here. Same deal. Torch there. Repeater there. Torch there. Dust here and here. Okay guys, so I'm done with the NOR latch array. So that's what that looks like when that's finished in here. So now we have to figure out a way. We haven't built our input panel yet, but we have to figure out a way to get the signal that comes out of that to split into 4, because, well, we have 4 separate decoders and they each need to have that signal. So we're going to do that by placing just a block here, because we're going to be placing comparators on these. So this right here is an input, this is an input, that's an input, and that one is an input. So we're going to place comparators going into these inputs, like so. Then we're going to place a block behind each of these comparators. So that's not needed. So a block directly behind them. Then going into those, we're going to place a block and redstone dust. And we're going to do the same for each of them. So block, redstone dust, block, redstone dust, block, and redstone dust. Now if we power this one right here with a comparator, it will power this dust and that dust, which will power 2. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to place a block here and a comparator there, and that will take care of the bottom 2. We're going to do the same for this one. Block there, and then a comparator there. So that one will power this block, which will power this dust and that dust. Now all we have to do is connect these 2 together now, which we're going to do that by placing a block here. Actually, we'll place a block there too. And that block will have a comparator going into it. And then down here, we're going to place a block right there with redstone dust on it and a block on top of that, and then a block right there. And then we're going to take a comparator and place it right there. So we move those signals closer together. We're going to place a block right there with redstone dust on it. Then we're going to place a block right there with redstone dust on it. And final step, place a block right there with a comparator on it. So now if I put any power to this comparator, it will split it into 4, and each of these will read the same. So now we're going to end up doing our input panel quick. So to do that, we're going to place a block right there. That will be the upper right corner of our panel. Then we go 1, 2, 3, like that. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So our panel's going to go right there. We can go ahead and place in our buttons like that. And then we can go ahead and put in our panel. So to take power from these 3 down here, we're going to place 3 blocks directly underneath them. And this is the cool thing about analog circuitry. We can just use the same line for all 3 of them because they'll each be represented by a different signal strength. Okay, and then after we get these 3 down here, we're going to go out 1 more. We can place a dust there. Then we're going to go up 1. Over and up 1, like that. So here's some dust there. Then we're going to place 3 blocks right here. And that's so these 3 buttons can have a line too. They're all sharing the same line. So place 1 there. But see how it connects? We don't want that to connect, so place a full block on top of that. That'll cut it off. Then you go ahead and just put dust like that. Then you're going to take a half slab and place it right there. Go ahead and place dust on it. Place a full block there. And dust going all the way across there. And that's our input panel. Okay guys, so now we're ready to put in our reset line. And that will fit right here. Again, we gotta split it into 4 different sections. So this block, that block, and so on are our inputs. So we're going to place a block there. We're going to place a block on each of these to let us put repeaters on them. So each one of these repeaters will be on 3 ticks right here. So that one's on 3. Place a repeater right here on 3. Place a repeater right here on 3 ticks. And then place a repeater right here on 3 ticks. So we gotta power those blocks. So let's go ahead and put in our monostable circuit. So we're going to need a sticky piston and an observer. So this repeater is going to go right there. I'm going to place a block in front of the repeater, like that. Going to place a sticky piston facing down on that block. And then you go place a observer facing down on that block. Then you're going to come down 2 blocks and place a block right here. You're going to place redstone dust on it. Then you're going to place a block in front of that with a repeater set to 3 ticks. Then you're going to place a block on top of it, block below it. And then each of these right here, where we placed repeaters before, we're going to put a block behind the repeater. So these are our new inputs for the reset line. Using half slabs, we're going to build a little platform right here. And right here. We'll get these bottom 2 ones done first. So we're going to place redstone dust here and here. Then we're going to have 2 repeaters right here. Both of these ones are going to be on 3 ticks delay. Then we're going to have 2 repeaters right here. And these ones are going to be on 2 ticks delay. So these 2 are on 3. These 2 are on 2. And I did forget that this one should be on 3 ticks delay too. Let's see, we're going to place a half slab right here. Then we're going to place another half slab right here with redstone dust on it. Going to place a half slab right there and there, full block right there, and then the redstone dust right up on that. Then we're going to place a repeater right here on 2 ticks delay. Then we're going to place a block right there. And then we're just going to place redstone dust right going directly into this block. That should be our reset line. If I do that, all of them should reset. Cool. Now, this is pretty much done. We'll get to the programming of it here in a second, but there is a bug currently where these torches right here will emit a pulse when you enter the world. That's why I had to reset that bottom NOR latch earlier, which is a problem because if you let that happen, it will basically, you could exit a world and enter it again and it will unlock, so you don't even have to know the code. So in order to fix that, and by the way, this bug is fixed in 0.16.0, but I had to figure out a way for people that weren't playing on that for it to work. So basically, I just used the same bug to reset it. So we're going to place a block right there. We're going to place a comparator right there with a torch going into that comparator, and then we're going to place a torch on that block. So when you enter the world, it will still make the pulses over here, but it will automatically reset it because this is the same bug right here, and this will create a pulse to the reset line. So that's important. And I'm going to cut and program this, and then I will explain how I programmed it, because it's going to take me a while to put all the items in here. The code is going to be 9, 3, 1, 2. But I'll show you all the things you need to know for your own code to work. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have it programmed. So basically what you do is I'm going to show you a sheet that will give you all the numbers from 1 to 9. So you pick what your code is going to be. So say your first number is 9, which it's mine. The sheet will say 3n/7n. The N stands for non-stackable items, so that's like boats, shovels, armor, etc., stuff that doesn't stack. So the very first number corresponds with this dropper. Second one corresponds with this one. So if you're going from front to back, this is your first dropper, this is your second dropper. So 3n, so there would be 3 non-stackable items, which there are, and then 7n, and then in this one 7 non-stackable. The S stands for stackable in 16s, so 16 things that stack to 16 basically. So eggs, signs, empty buckets, etc. Not like cobblestone and stuff that stacks to 64 won't work. So my second number is a 3. So for 3 we have 8, no. For 3 we have 9N, so 9 non-stackables and 1 S, so 1 stackable to 16. So I used buckets in this case. Signs are cheaper. So next number is 1, which will be 8 non-stackable, and then 1 non-stackable and 5 stackable. Again, that's 16 stackable item. And then the last one is a 2, which is 8 and 6, so 8 non-stackable and 6 stackable in this, and then 1 non-stackable in this one. So before we test this out, and I should have shown you that page, so if you have to, just pause it while you program your thing. But your output will be a block that's right above this torch right here. So we're going to go ahead and put in the number, which is 9, 3, 1, 2, and our torch turned on. And if this was a block, you could take a repeater signal out of this or whatever you need to do with it. Any number, including the 2, will actually reset it. And that's pretty much it, guys. The only other thing is this input panel is pretty obviously has to be sunk into the wall, so your wall would be like right here. This is where your wall would be. So it's sunken, but that's how I had to do it to get it to work. I tried thinking about how to make it work without that, and you can, but it becomes a lot bigger and needlessly bigger. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the build. This is, again, a very advanced build, so if there's problems, I'm sorry. I might not be able to just, figure out what's wrong. All I can say is follow the tutorial and hope for the best. But that's it for today, guys. I will see you next time. Have a nice day, and bye-bye.